It was an ordinary autumn day. The sky of Florence stretched over the city like a gray blanket, and the air smelled of wet leaves. In a small house near Campo di Marte, Evelina Rossi looked at herself in the mirror. Her face was marked by time, her hair carefully gathered, a simple but dignified dress. She was sitting in her wheelchair as she had been for almost 30 years. But that day, something was different. Before continuing, subscribe to our channel and activate the bell so you don't miss any of our stories. She took a taxi from the Senior Citizen Care Center. She had a specific destination, an upscale restaurant along the Arno River, renowned for its elegant furnishings and select clientele. It wasn't the kind of place a woman like her was often seen, but Evelina knew exactly what she was doing. When the taxi pulled up to the entrance, two waiters rushed to open the door for her, a little confused, a little wary. Evelina smiled as one of them clumsily attempted to help her with the wheelchair. No one said anything until the manager approached, a kind young woman with a welcoming smile. "Good evening," he said, looking down at her. "Can I do something for you?" "Yes, I have a reservation in the name of Rossi. Table for one." The hostess's eyes widened slightly. "Oh, sure. I'll have you escorted right away." Although she tried to maintain a professional air, the tension in the girl's body was evident. Evelina's modest appearance, the wheelchair, everything clashed with the elegance of the place. Some customers already seated at the tables began to glance at each other. Someone whispered something in the ear of the person next to them. But Evelina kept her gaze fixed in front of her, dignified and calm. She was seated in a more isolated corner of the restaurant, near a window overlooking the river. The hostess turned to leave when Evelina's calm voice called her back. "Excuse me, dear. Could I have a couple of apples? Just that, please." The girl stopped, turning with a tight smile. "Apples, ma'am? They're not on the menu, but I'll see what I can do." Back in the kitchen, the hostess hissed at the waiter Matteo. "Did you hear? She came all the way here to eat 2 apples." Matteo shrugged. "Maybe there's a reason." And without another word, he took 2 apples from the fresh ingredients fridge, carefully sliced them into wedges, and served them to the woman with a kind smile. But around him, the murmurs were increasing. A few customers were snickering. One in particular, a man in a designer jacket, commented loudly, "What's a homeless woman doing in a place like this? Is this a joke?" Matteo gritted his teeth and walked away. He decided it was time to talk to the owner. Mr. Leonardo Ricci was in his office, busy with documents and phone calls. Matteo knocked and entered discreetly. "Boss, excuse the interruption. There's a rather peculiar customer in the room. She's causing some commotion among the tables." Leonardo looked up, annoyed. "We've never discriminated, Matteo." "No, of course. But this woman seems to be in trouble. She's in a wheelchair. She just asked for apples. The customers are complaining." Leonardo sighed and stood up. "Okay, I'll come check on you." He headed toward the room, and when his gaze fell on that woman sitting composedly while biting into a slice of apple, time seemed to stop. A lump rose in his throat. "No, it can't be her," he murmured. And instead it was her, Evelina Rossi, the janitor at his elementary school. As a child, Leonardo was shy, quiet, often isolated. But every day, after class, while the others ran home, he stayed a few minutes in the hallway to chat with Evelina. She offered him an apple, made him laugh, listened to him like no one had ever done before. She had become a constant, warm, almost maternal presence. Until that day, the accident. Leonardo was running along the hallway, wet from the rain brought in by the students. He slipped, hit his head on the floor, and fainted. No one noticed except Evelina. It was she who found him, called for help, stayed by his side until his mother arrived. After that episode, Evelina disappeared. A back injury forced her into a wheelchair. No one knew exactly what had happened. Leonardo and his mother continued to visit her for years, bringing her help, medicine, human warmth. But then, one day, Evelina's son, Ricardo, exploded. He accused them of wanting to take advantage of his mother, chased them away with harsh words, and cut all ties. Now, decades later, that woman was there, sitting in her restaurant, an apple in her hand. Leonardo approached, his voice trembling. "Mrs. Rossi." Evelina looked up, and her eyes filled with tears. "Leonardo, my God, it's you." He sat down next to her, took her hands in his. "I can't believe it. After all this time, I came looking for you. I only found out now what really happened. Ricardo told me the truth, and I felt the need to see you, to apologize." "Apologize? You saved my life." Evelina smiled sadly. "And you saved mine for so many years, but Ricardo left me alone. He came back recently with nothing. He lives in my garage, but he doesn't help me. He acts like a ghost." Leonardo pressed his lips together, holding back his anger. "Tell me what I can do." "Nothing, my love. I'm just here to tell you that I don't have much time left, and I've decided to leave you my house. I know it's not much, but you and your mother were my family, the only one." Leonardo tried to protest, but she caressed his hand. "It's the right thing to do, and Ricardo doesn't deserve it." They talked for a long time that day, with memories, smiles, and a few tears. They ate apples together, like they used to. When they said goodbye, Evelina knew it would be the last time, but Leonardo didn't accept that end. The next day he went to her, convinced her to move to a nearby house, more comfortable and bright. He was by her side until the last day of her life. After her death, Ricardo only became interested when the notary told him that he had inherited nothing. He left the house without saying goodbye. Leonardo, on the other hand, sold the house and donated everything to a foundation that helped disabled people in Evelina's name. She was not his mother, but she had been his family. And deep down, they both knew blood does not create bonds, but love does. Did you like this story? Leave a comment below. Thanks for watching the video till the end, and see you next story.